the Hustle and Giggle podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to the Hustle and Giggle podcast. It's episode 7, lucky number 7, and things are feeling extra hot today, which I'm sure you all are. Today we've left the studio and ventured into the wild, our natural habitat. So if you hear a few curious sounds, just go with it. That said, one of us is currently soaking up the vibes somewhere far fancier than the rest of us. We're dialing them in live from the rolling hills, endless tea, and maybe an opportunity to bump into Mr. and Mrs. Beckham in the beautiful Cotswolds. We've also got a very special guest joining us today, so buckle up. It's going to be laughs, hustle, and a little countryside charm all in one episode. So let's get into it. So I've personally known today's guest for over 25 years. She was just 5 years old when I met her. Cheeky, a little bit naughty, but an adorable little girl who came into my life when I met her dad. Fast forward to today, she's a brand new mum, has a successful career, a huge lover of travel, and honestly, I'm so lucky to have her as part of my family. And we're all lucky to have her as our guest on the podcast today. So let's give a very warm welcome to Sian.
Welcome, Sean.
Yay! Welcome, Sian. So, Sian, do you want to just do a little intro and tell everybody who you are?
I mean, firstly, I think the postpartum hormones are still kicking in because my eyes have got a bit teary from hearing that intro, Amanda. That was very sweet. But yes, so I am Sian. I was going to say nice to meet you, everyone, although this is a podcast. This is my first time on a podcast, so it's my debut. And I have a 10-month-old Velcro baby girl who is currently napping, which is perfect timing as well. And yeah, it's really nice to be on the show today. So can't wait to tell you a little bit more about myself and motherhood and all those exciting things.
So who wants to start? Who's going to start? Maybe Karma. Maybe you can ask Sian a question.
Okay, so it's so lovely to have you here, Sian. Thank you so much for this. And apologies already, because if you said you're already feeling postpartum, then my question might completely throw you and Amanda off. So you met Amanda at aged 5. Do you remember what your first impression was of her?
I actually don't. I don't remember, but from the experience that Amanda had, I don't think it was the funnest of experiences because I definitely showed on the first day of meeting her that I had a really cheeky personality and I was probably sussing her out and testing her.
So Sian, I met Sian's dad, Richard, as you know. We used to work together and we happened to manage the same client, and I was doing some additional stuff for them on a Saturday, and Richard popped in, and Sian and Kieran is Sian's brother, so is also Richard's son, and they popped in and Richard said, we're heading off to Harrow for lunch. Would you like to come with us? So, Richard was just a work colleague at this point, by the way, I just add. So I jumped in the car, went off to Harrow with them. And he then announced that he'd actually been given as an award a load of Debenhams vouchers. And he recently brought a new property and he wanted to buy some stuff for some property. So would I be able to queue up with Sian because she wanted her face painted in the Debenhams? And honestly, the queue probably had 15 people in it, and Sian didn't want to stand in this queue. Richard went shopping. He took Kieran with him, and I'm in the queue with Sian. Never met her before. Didn't know if I should say, Sian, come back here. Anyway, we eventually got to the front of the queue. She had her face painted. We then re-met up with Richard and Kieran, and we went to Pizza Express. Before we even sat down at the table, Sian said, I need to go to the toilet, Dad. So Richard said to me, would you mind taking Sian to the toilet? So I said, no, absolutely not. We walked in the toilet, and I can't remember whether she'd been to the toilet or whether this was after the toilet. I turned round and she's got her face in the sink with all the water washing off all the face. I don't like this anymore, she said, and she washed the whole thing off, but actually it was just all running down her face, and I'm like, oh my god, I've just queued up for probably at least 25 minutes and now she's washing it off. So that was my first meeting with Sian. Very fun.
No wonder you don't remember it, Sian.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that you still stayed with Dad or decided to sort of continue things thereafter, Amanda, credit to you. because
Yeah.
that was the biggest test at the very beginning,
Yeah.
meeting me firsthand. You was
That's
probably
very-
walking around with me and people must have thought, is she okay? I've got like black marks down my face and
Yeah, it was very funny, very funny. And you're right, 25 years later, I'm still here. So I must have enjoyed your company, even though you definitely were a little bit naughty on that day.
Oh, what was the face painting? I have to know.
Oh God, I don't know.
Oh no!
I can't even remember, but it was definitely one of those full-on face paints. Like I remember Sean's face was completely covered in. It would probably have likely to have been something pink because I remember Sean was, obviously very girly, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But I do remember that her whole face. It wasn't just one of those pretty little lines of glitter. It was her whole face was just covered in paint for 10 minutes.
Brilliant.
I remember, so my hubby, Kev, met my two older children in similar circumstances to yours, Amanda. And I never forget it. So we were been together for a few months or whatever. I introduced them to the kids, to him, to the kids. And he took us to one of these open days at the fire station. And there was police cars and fire engines and stuff like that. And I'm sure he'll never forget it that he took Anthony and showed him the police car. So Anthony's playing around, he's a cheeky little chap at 3 years old. And he said to the policeman, he beats me up. And we just nearly died.
Oh, no.
And so, yeah, I'm sure they both still remember to this day, 30 years on. And yeah.
So I
it's
got
still
away
a little
lightly with a
running
face
joke.
painting then.
And thankfully,
never
he's
went back
still
to
here
Harrow.
after 30 years.
Oh God, that's so funny. Back to you,
Bless
Karma.
him.
Go on. That was the first question.
Okay, so another one is about Sienna. So Amanda's told me that you loved to travel before you had Sienna, and you still travel with Sienna now. So, if Sienna had a TripVisor account, what do you think she'd rate your last holiday, and what would their review be, or what would her review be rather?
So I think she would definitely give it I would, okay, to be completely honest, this may be TMI, too much information. I would say it started off as a strong 5, then probably went down to a 2 because we must have had, or I had an ice cream, sort of beachside ice cream van. And the girl that I went with, my best friend and her daughter, so her daughter also had an ice cream. And for the remainder of the holiday and 2 weeks after, it was just sort of constant stomach issues. I won't go into too much detail. So the beginning of the holiday, amazing. Mauritius, for context, we went to Mauritius, which I heard is like the second longest flight after any flight from London to Australia. So completed it, which is great. Anything's possible now. And yeah, it was just every day going to the beach, watching the sunsets together. Yeah, really nice. She ate all the food as well, so she's a proper little foodie, loves to eat, and she was yeah, trying all the Mauritian food and all their staple dishes. So yeah, a strong 4 to start with. And then yeah, I'd say probably if she could, she'd rate it a 1 by the end. By the end of it, she also was
Bless her.
teething. She decided to get 2 teeth at once, so it was a double whammy. Her bottom 2 teeth came out during the holiday. So there was 3 nights of her waking up every hour, and it was sort of PTSD of the newborn stage because she sleeps quite well. But yeah, apart from that, lovely holiday, really, really nice. Never been to Mauritius, and yeah, isn't she a lucky girl? And she won't remember it when she's older, though. That's the problem, will she? She'll be like, it doesn't count. I don't remember it.
Oh, lots of photos there.
That's so true.
Have you got some more Karma up your sleeve, or should we
No,
move
I'm
over
going to hand it to
Leslie?
Leslie now.
I just wondered how you're feeling about going back to work. I mean, are you excited or have you been bored? Well, obviously going to Mauritius, you haven't really been that bored. But are you excited to go back to work?
I've done like a couple of kit days. Hopefully my manager's not listening into this. I'm not really excited to go back. I could definitely probably continue doing this, I'd say, for maybe another year. Prior to sort of motherhood, I always said I could never be like that sort of stay-at-home mum, but I could probably do it for another year. I think it's because I'm really trying to make the most out of it and seeing my friends. Like one of my other best friends had a daughter sort of 2 months after me. So it's like we're doing a lot of things together, obviously going on holiday, and the weather's really nice and that always helps as well. So I'm not bored. I've done a couple of kit days so far. Getting slightly back into the swing of things. I think what the biggest thing for me is her going to nursery, and it's like, oh my god, she's starting, like, she's starting to grow up, and it's sort of hitting home. And she literally starts nursery on the 1st of September, and I go back to work on the 1st of September. She turns 1 a week before, so it's like everything's going to be. I'll probably be in tears the week before her birthday
Oh,
and leading up to my first day at work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to obviously kind of get back in touch. So I'm a senior account manager, predominantly sales related, selling apprenticeships to key clients. So I'm excited to sort of get back in touch with them and get back into the swing of things. But yeah, I could definitely have another year off. Sorry.
Oh,
and are
You
you
talking
going
about
back full time or are
sorry.
you part time?
Yeah,
Are
it goes
you
back
slow?
4 days a week, so
Wow.
pretty much
Okay.
full time. Um, and then as of Jan next year, I've agreed or put a proposal together to like enhanced hours, so 4 days a week, but like 8 till 6 p.m. So I can still get my sort of 5 day salary, but have Fridays off, which will, yeah, be the best thing,
Oh,
hopefully.
good luck.
I
Thank
just
you.
thought when you said about crying, and Sean will understand this because obviously we've always lived in this house since it's the only house Rich and I have ever lived in together since I've known Sean. So Sean would have remembered our previous next door neighbours, and I remember leaving the house the first day I dropped Jack to nursery, and honestly, sorry Sean, this is probably not what you want to hear, but honestly, not only was I in tears, but the next door neighbour, Mo, you would remember her, Sean, was standing at the window waving to us in tears. So that probably didn't help the situation, but I did feel quite supported. Honestly. But do you know what? I can assure you, and everybody will say this, within half an hour of me leaving the nursery in tears, he was fine. And,
Yeah,
Jack is obviously Sean's half brother. He's 19 years old next week. And, we were saying actually yesterday, from our perspective, nursery was fantastic for him. He's a fantastic child. He's great. He's great brother to Sean, and they love each other dearly. But, when you look back, it's really emotional. But actually, having been through it, she will love it. She will absolutely love nursery.
yeah.
She will adore being there, and you will value your valued time with her then when you get time with her in the evenings and weekends. But it's hard, you can't take that
Yeah,
away,
I,
can you?
I probably shouldn't have decided to send her to nursery the same day I go back to work because it's like 2 in 1. But at least I can deal with them both on the same day simultaneously and then get
Yeah,
over it.
I think that's
Yeah,
quite
it will be
practical
good.
that you've done that. That's quite a
yeah,
good
Yeah,
idea.
Very.
It's like ripping the band-aid off, isn't it? Just going for it.
yeah. And there's
yeah.
almost, is
The
there a
Sunday,
distraction then as well? I don't know.
the Sunday prior to that will feel like the most Sunday ever. I think the Sunday blues will kick in.
Definitely.
It doesn't stop there though. So when they go to big school, when they start the first school there, you're going to be crying that day. You're going to be crying when they go to bigger school and then their proms and everything else. So honestly, get used to it. It happens. So
Yeah.
you'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I remember Jack first starting primary school, and I remember obviously Richard, Sean's dad, and Jack's dad, and I remember standing at the in the playground, and tears were rolling down my face. And Sean, your dad was going, "Why are you crying? He's starting school." And I think your point you made earlier, actually, we become a bit more emotional after we're mums anyway. But yeah, just that next big step for me, it's like yeah, I cry at everything anyway. But there we go. That's the reality
Yeah,
of it.
remember when he finished school not so long ago, like completely
Oh
sixth
yeah,
form, everything. That was
cry. First big interview 3 weeks ago, cry. It's just who I am, and I'm not embarrassed about it. And that's who I am, and I can't change it. And we're all like that, I'm sure, when it comes to our children. But
Being
yeah,
proud parents, that's what we call it.
exactly, absolutely. So one of the things I'm going to ask Sean is, Sean's recently moved from, well, I say recently, probably a couple of years ago, from London. So Sean was born in London and then moved to Solihull. What do you miss, or what do you not
Oh,
miss?
I'll answer the latter. What I do not miss is the traffic. Honestly, chaos. The traffic in London, to drive like 1 mile down the road, sometimes it would take 40 minutes. And it's like, does no one work? Because there's this constant traffic. I work from home. I've been working from home for a few years. So at lunch, I'd pop out and I'd question whether people are actually going out to work or not, because the roads would be, yeah, ridiculous. So I definitely don't miss that. What I do miss, I guess, would be sort of friends randomly popping over to their house, especially now the little one. That would probably be quite a convenient thing, to have my sort of support base and my friends down in London. However, I absolutely love Solihull. It was quite a random move for us, but my partner Sanjay, his parents moved up to Solihull, and his mum's very particular and did like 2 years worth of research, viewing properties. So sorry, for context, they also lived in West London. And she decided on Solihull, and I instantly thought, if she thinks Solihull's okay after all of that due diligence, we'll be fine. And yeah, I'm really happy especially for Sienna. It's a nice area for her to grow up in.
Yeah, it's lovely. I didn't really know Solihull until you moved there, and obviously we don't know, nowhere near as much as you do. But actually, of the places that we've been to with you, restaurants or time out, it's lovely. It's really nice. So yeah, exciting.
Yeah.
So
I
we got any?
believe I believe one of my finance companies is from there. So Paragon Motor Finance
Oh,
is
are
up
they?
there,
I
their
could talk
head
about them.
office. So I did go up there at one point when I went up to Aintree and that. So we went to their head office and went off in different directions. And yeah, I've been out there eating. I didn't do a whole tour, I won't lie, but that's where they're from. So
Brilliant. So should we do our quick fire questions to Sian? We've got some quick fire questions for you, Sian. So shall I start? And take one? So
Yeah.
close a big customer deal or get a full night's sleep?
Close a big customer deal, because
Maybe.
I probably wouldn't sleep if I had that big meeting the following day anyway. Money over sleep.
Fair enough. Okay, like that one.
I like it. I
Your
join
turn,
you with that
Leslie.
one. Yeah, no, I would do the same. I'm with you there, Sian. Yeah, definitely a big customer. I can get some sleep later on.
Sleep can wait.
Text or voice note?
Voice note. I'm a mum.
Quite much easier, isn't it? At the moment, I think we've started doing our WhatsApp now. We used to type the whole time, text, sorry, and then now we're more voice noting, aren't we, girls? Yeah, I seem to think that it's just so much easier, especially Karma's forever walking the dog or by herself or running or whatever, and she's like on a voice note at the same time. So it's great, so much quicker. And yeah, I'm so slow at texting. The kids take the mix. So yeah, no, I love voice notes.
Quite new to it. I have to say before, only the last couple of months, but now I'm just tempted to like do all my messages on voice note, but I know it doesn't go great with some people. Sean's dad Richard doesn't like them at all. So but yeah, you can say so much more as well, can't you, in like such a short space of time. So yeah, I love them. Sorry, Karma, you were just about to say
The
something.
only downside, I love it when I'm around and I can play them back. But the only downside sometimes is there's so much information in there that I feel like I need a notepad to make notes.
Yeah.
Or I have to sneak into a corner and listen to my phone because I'm somewhere where it's not appropriate to just play it out loud. So namely my office. So yeah. So I love and hate it depending on where I am. And that transcribe button is just shit. It doesn't work, does it? It's absolutely useless.
That.
Have you not tried it? Or I was going to say try it, but don't because it's rubbish. So
It is rubbish. I'll say something and I'm like, how can you not understand what I've just said? And it's doing something totally different.
Oh no,
funny. I mean the playback one. If you look at the voice note, you've got a transcribe that you can click on under, and that is just pants. It's no good.
Mental note not to use that then. Right, Sian, Karma, your last quick question to Sian then.
Oh, city break or beach holiday, Sian?
Beach holiday. Beach
We
holiday
know
for
the
sure.
answer
I
to
love a
that one.
sunset. I was going to say, do you not know me?
Oh, we do
Actually,
now.
You haven't actually. One of the things you didn't say, Sian, is how many holidays. So Sienna is now 10 months old. How many holidays, and by holidays I mean on an aeroplane abroad holidays, has Sienna actually been on now? And include the one she's going on next week.
I actually have to think about. She's been on 1, 2. So we did 2 as like a little family break. Then we went to Lanzarote.
Hmm.
Then we went to Mauritius, and then we're going to Rhodes on Tuesday next week. So
That's not bad, is it, for 10 months
6,
old?
5.
Lucky
Amazing.
girl. She's got a full
I
passport.
just think if you don't do it. I was a bit fearful. In fact, my partner Sandra is probably more nervous than I was about taking her away. But I think where we took her on her first holiday when she was probably 4 months old, she just slept the whole journey. She was at that age where she just sleeps and eats and then goes back to sleep. So once you do that sort of first holiday, you've got it. You can continue on. That fear and that nervousness goes away. And I wasn't going to stop myself. Amanda knows I love a good holiday. So it's like parenting in paradise at some points. I will be honest. Me and my friend called it either parenting in paradise or parenting abroad, depending on how the day went. But yeah, why not do it with a nice view, poolside and a cocktail?
Love it.
Exactly. And it's free because she's under 2. So that's even better, isn't it?
Yeah. Forgot about
Definitely.
that bit. And are you going to continue these when you go back to work, or not as much? You're still going to fit them in?
No, I've got about 70 days annual leave that I've accumulated, so I'll definitely be making the most out of it, Leslie, until she's 2 years old and they try and charge me a full price ticket. We'll work it out at that stage.
Don't blame you.
Brilliant. Lovely. Right. Let's move on to some of our questions that we normally talk about, but include you in those, Sian. So any recommendations? I'm going to have to go to you, Karma, because I'm waiting.
We got an app.
I'm
Have we
just
got an app?
waiting with anticipation for an app recommendation.
Yeah,
And if
I'm
you
not gonna
haven't
let-
got one, I will feel very disappointed.
No, I'm not going to let you down. I've got a multitude, but I'm just going to pick one for this week. This week is the Planter app. So, has anybody got any house plants at home? Non-fake IKEA ones, proper real ones?
Me?
Yeah. And
Not
sometimes
me.
not you. Oh, okay. Okay, for Amanda then. So sometimes they're not very easy to look after, are they? Or you don't even know what plant you've got. So basically, this Planter app, you download it, you go and scan your plants. It will tell you what the plant is. It will tell you when it needs feeding. It will send you reminders. It will tell you the best position in the house to put the plant. I've made this sound really nerdy, like my bird app, but it's actually really, really useful. And you can give the plant nicknames. So see if you can work out. I've got one in my bedroom and I've called him Peter Parker. So guess what kind of plant he is?
Peter Parker?
Isn't Peter Parker the nosy thing?
I've no
You
idea.
lot have let me down. Nathan
I'm
is
thinking
now
like a
thinking
yucca
it's
plant or something. I don't know why.
spider plant.
A spider plant.
A spider plant. My humour's
Amazing.
lost on you
No
lot.
idea.
Sorry, I have 2 questions now.
Yeah.
First question is, when you say scan the plant, you obviously mean scan the label that the plant comes with, and
No,
not
no,
scan
no.
the leaf of the plant.
No, you go up to it with your phone, you press scan within the app, and it will take a photo of it, and then it will just tell you within seconds what plant it is.
That's amazing.
It's clever. You have to subscribe to it. I think it's £32 for the year, but it tells you when to feed it. It tells you when to put fertilizer in it. Honestly, I love it. It's brilliant.
My second question then to you is, does every plant in your house have a name?
It does.
Go on, give us the most random name of one of your house plants.
The most random one is give Lily some peace. So that's my lily piece.
Okay, yeah.
What other one have I got? I can't think of it. Some of them I can't say.
Go on, you can.
You say everything else.
You know you can.
I won't.
Oh.
So that's my app.
Can I use it for my fake plants? Because it'll just go, you haven't got a real plant.
It'll just say IKEA, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. IKEA,
Yes,
just
okay.
leave in any place in the house. Do not water.
No.
Will last forever. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
I
so that's
like
me.
I love that. Right, Leslie, what's your recommendation this week?
Was thinking back actually of what we've been up to a wee bit, and we did have a walk round Automate, didn't we? The 3 of us. So if anyone's just, fancying a little wander and just got nothing to do, and I thought we had a really good evening that evening. So not necessarily a recommendation for a thing, but more of what a lovely place that was to walk, because I hadn't actually been all the way around that you guys showed me. And I just thought that was beautiful. We saw the ducks, didn't we? We had a lovely meal at the water meeting, and yeah, really enjoyed that. So recommendations, just from
No,
there
I love
really.
that. And guess where we went for a walk last night?
You didn't.
We
We weren't
did.
invited.
We did. We took
Rude.
Sienna on a nice walk around the Watermead lake, but we did the smaller lake twice because it's. You remember, you want them to go
Yeah.
to sleep, and she did, didn't she? Eventually, Sian, she did go to sleep, didn't she? But we did that.
Oh, did you like it, Sian? Because that's where we went for a walk.
I
It's lovely.
liked it because it put my little one to sleep. So it definitely gets 5 stars from me.
Yeah, it's great, wasn't it? It was
Brilliant.
lovely. It was really nice.
It's pretty.
What about you, Sian? Have you got any recommendations?
Yeah, so actually, I would recommend something that Sienna absolutely loves doing and keeps her entertained for about 5 or 10 minutes, which is a perfect amount of time to quickly get some housework done, is honestly a handbag with like your bits and bobs in it. So stuff that like I don't know, lip glosses, or she's recently discovered like my card holder and actually takes my cards out of the card holder. Don't know how she learned that. Um,
Dad probably showed
but
her.
yeah, no, I would say just giving a baby a bag with bits and bobs in it for them to take everything out and put back in is a recommendation.
That's
My
such a good
recommendation.
idea. I like that.
My recommendation is, if you haven't got one, go and buy a tower fan. Oh my goodness me. We needed them in our house last night. As you all know, our house is a conversion and we sleep in the what would have been the loft space. So you know how hot they would. In your normal bedrooms, it's hot. In our bedrooms last night, they were so hot. So we all now have a, including in a spare room where Sian and Sienna are sleeping, we all now have a tower fan. And I have to say, halfway through the evening, I was almost cold last night. So I doubt you'll get one, if I'm honest now, will you? Because everybody will be out buying fans. But goodness me, prep yourself for the next time we have a hot spell, because they have been a bit of a godsend in the last few weeks. But definitely a good one from me. So what
Yes,
about
we have them all on at the moment. I'll be
have you?
honest. Yeah, they're all I have them everywhere in the
Oh,
house.
yeah.
But yeah, it has been very, very hot.
Yeah, very hot. Lovely, but very hot. So yes. So what about something fun? So if you were to win the lottery tonight, I don't know if it's lottery night tonight, by the way, because I'm not really a regular lottery doer, but what's the first thing you would do? Leslie, what's the first thing you would do where you get all numbers?
Do you know, I was when I saw that that was maybe going to be a question, because as you know, like I said before, we don't always know the questions. So I did look at that, and actually one of our friends that does the running group actually met someone the other day who won £1 million, and he shook his hand, and he's going back to work on the Monday. He's a tradesman, and he's obviously said that he would go and just go back to work. So anyway, so he's doing that. So I wondered, if I won £1 million, would I go back to work? I do love my job, probably wouldn't do it full time. So I would just make sure the kids are all right. I'd take a nice holiday, maybe to Mauritius, and then
Don't have ice cream from a van.
No, obviously not. But yeah, take a good holiday. But nothing major. I still think I'd probably work part-time, but take some time out.
I'd buy all my siblings and my siblings-in-law a house, or I'd pay off their mortgages for them. That'd be the first thing I'd do. And then I know I haven't got a second, but secondly, I'd buy a McLaren to drive to and go and see them in their new houses.
Why did I know that would be you?
What about you? What would yours be? What would you do?
Do you know what? I would go on holiday and think about it on holiday. I would take everybody on holiday, family, totally go on holiday, and then go, right, what am I going to do? Because I fear that I would make a bit like a quick decision and regret it afterwards. So I would definitely do a holiday, have some time out and think about it with people that I care about and loved ones. So be nice to me, you lot, just in case I
Love
win
that.
and you want to come on holiday. Sian, what about you?
I think my absolute initial thing would be probably scream in disbelief.
Mhm.
Um, and then I would say similar to you, Amanda, I've always wanted to just turn up at the airport and catch a flight. So I'd have to like get a minibus or a coach, probably a minibus, full of family and friends. Just head to the airport, no
Yeah.
destination in mind, and literally ask the question, where are you heading off? And just buy a flight.
Fantastic, Sian. Well, I'll be looking forward to my holiday away with you when you win the lottery then. Brilliant. Love that. So what do we all have coming up then in the next couple of weeks? What exciting stuff, apart from obviously sunbathing, what exciting stuff have we got to look forward to? What about you, Leslie?
Well, it's a week of everything. So this morning, I know we go out a couple of days later, but this morning I took my first exam after 23 years. I've not done an exam, I've not had an interview in 30 years. So it was nerve-wracking. Not sure how I did, but do you know what? I did it.
Well
And at
done.
55 years old, I'm quite proud of myself. I won't lie. I ran out of time though, so my time management, but that says it all because I'm late for everything, girls. So I'm always the one that turns up late. I've done that, and thankfully that is now out the way because on Saturday, Kev and I will be celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary. So I will give you a big update of how the party goes. So we've got a nice party coming up, which I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and sharing a few bevies together. And so very, very exciting weekend. And I'm sure I'll be hanging on Sunday after everything we've been doing. So I can get into party mode now, was my point, after having such a hard morning this morning. So let's have party time. So yes.
Brilliant. Well, do you know what? I just want to say well done for today because I know what it's caused you in terms of stress and anxiety and all those things of thinking about it. So firstly, well done. And and whatever the outcome is, you've done your best. And do you know what? In life, that's all we can hope. We can go into anything, do our best. And to do an exam after that, that long period of time, I admire you. So well done for doing that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Brilliant. So what about you, Sian? What have you got? Well, I bet there's a holiday coming here. What have you got coming up?
Yeah, this will be the 99th holiday of the year. No, so I'm going to Rhodes on Tuesday, but actually prior to that, me and my partner have got another baby-free day, and we're giving. I was like, yeah, we're handing her over. So the mother-in-law is looking after Sienna on Saturday, which will be nice. So we're just going to go to a hotel, have go for dinner. There's like a little spa, and I just can't wait to not be a mum for the day and be Sean.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Sounds
When
lovely.
Sean arrived last night, she said, if you ever want to have Sienna overnight, just let me know. I was like, when? When can we do it?
Tomorrow.
Hopefully on the next outing we'll get the chance to look after her as well. That's very exciting. So I'll go next then. So you're right in terms of the timing of this. When it goes out, we would have done it. But Sian and Sienna are staying with us this evening, and the three of us, because Richard, my partner, and Jack are heading off on a sports car tour trip tomorrow, and we are going to the zoo tomorrow. We're going to Whipsnade for the day. I hope the heat doesn't frighten all the animals to be staying inside because we want to see them all. So we're doing that tomorrow, which is very exciting. And then Jack, our son, it's his 19th birthday, the end of the month, which will be probably my 200th birthday in June, because June is that month in my life where everyone I possibly know has a birthday. So that's coming up. So that's nice. So some holiday celebrations when they get back. So that's exciting. And of course, a party, which we've mentioned before, which I'm sure we'll have lots of chat about on the next podcast, which is very exciting. Yes, very exciting. What about you, Karma?
Brilliant. Well, firstly, I just want to say how proud I am of you, Leslie, for that exam today. And you can just focus now on the fun bits. So well done for getting that out of the way. And Sian, anytime you want to let Amanda have Sienna, Leslie and I are desperate to meet Sienna. We've seen such beautiful photos of her, and she seems like such a happy little girl. So whenever you want to, if you don't mind, Amanda, Leslie and I will gate crash that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, perfect.
She'll
Lovely.
she'll have the best
What have I
time.
got coming up? I've got a party on Saturday, randomly. Really looking forward to that. There's so many parallels because I'm also going away to the New Forest to celebrate my 23rd wedding anniversary. And my son Jacob turns 20 next week. So Amanda, Jack and Jacob, it's not easy to say, is it? Jack and Jacob, similar times. And yeah, wedding anniversary, similar time. So rather a full fortnight coming up. I'm heading home tomorrow after an absolutely beautifully brave, idyllic week away working on a book that I'm writing. And it has been the most cathartic thing ever. Me and my dog, I'm not completely on my own. He's currently locked in the toilet because it's the only place that's cool and I can keep him quiet. So yeah, lovely full June so far, and hopefully that'll carry on in July.
Transvest, love it. The other parallel, which is really bizarre, isn't it? So we decided, Jack, our son, was going off to do some work today. So we decided to go out for brunch this morning, went out for brunch. I look up on the way out and I see Karma's daughter sitting there waving at me. How funny. What this small world that we live in, which was lovely. So I've seen your daughter today, but you won't see her. But I said hello to her for you. But yeah, that was lovely. That was lovely.
I'm actually really missing them. I'm really missing them. I'm walking a lot. I'm right next to some woodland. There's a farm. The cafe is really friendly here. But yeah, I'm definitely beginning to miss my people. So
And
sure you
Karma,
are.
I must say, we're very, very proud of you for doing what you've done this week as well. We're so excited to read your book when it's done. And yeah, telling us that you've done 17 pages within the first 5 minutes was just crazy that I can't get through a 3-hour exam and finish it on time. And you've run 17 pages. So I wouldn't even have done half a page. So we're very proud of you too, and are very excited to see what you've written.
oh, thank you, girls. Thank you.
I can't wait for the launch, the book opening, the sign.
Yeah, that'll be so good.
I'm there.
My
I love
fun.
the ambition you have for me.
Oh, I love it. Well, I think that's it. I think that's a wrap. So wrap on episode 7. So thank you for joining us, Sian. Really, really appreciated your time. I think you've probably been the guest that's come the furthest so far. So thank you. Really appreciate that. And your conversation, your energy, your honesty. And it's lovely that you can at last meet Leslie and Karma, because I talk about them and I also talk about you a lot. So albeit not necessarily in person, but you've met them, which is lovely. So thank you very much. And yeah, of course, a big shout out to Karma for well, coming to us from the world of the Cotswolds. And have you met Mr. and Mrs. Beckham yet, by the way? Sorry, I forgot to ask you. Because
No, do you know, I keep looking for them in the woods, but no, nothing.
Oh, brilliant. Well, maybe you're not heading home yet, so maybe you will. So thank you to our amazing listeners. Thanks for hanging out with us. Please follow us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple or YouTube to hear our latest episode. Please leave us a review because we really want to have some more reviews. So we'd love that if you could. And follow us on Hustle and Giggle 2025 on Instagram. And catch you in a couple of weeks, where I'm sure we'll have got loads to tell you about what we're up to, and particularly give you some feedback on the big party coming up this weekend. So thanks, everybody. Lovely to see you, and hope to catch you all soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Sian.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
The Hustle and Giggle podcast.